14 dashboard warning lights you should never ignore and what your car is trying to tell you. Your car does not speak, but it does warn you, not with words, with lights. Small symbols on the dashboard that most drivers see every day, but very few truly understand. And that is where the problem begins, because some dashboard lights are harmless. Some are just reminders, but some warning lights are your car's way of saying something is wrong, and if you ignore it, the damage can get serious very quickly. That is why these lights matter. They are not there to decorate the dashboard. They are there to alert you before a small problem turns into a big one. Modern vehicles are full of sensors. They monitor temperature, oil pressure, battery charging, braking, airbags, fuel systems, and much more. And when something falls outside the safe range, a warning light appears. The problem is, many drivers keep going. They assume the car still feels normal, so the warning must not be important. But that is often the exact mistake that leads to expensive repairs later. In this video, I'll show you 14 dashboard warning lights you should never ignore, what they usually mean, how serious they can be, and what you should do when one of them shows up. So the next time a warning light appears, you won't just stare at it and guess. You'll know how seriously to take it. Let's start with one of the most dangerous lights of all. Warning number 1, oil pressure warning light. If this light comes on, you should take it seriously immediately. This usually means your engine is not getting proper oil pressure, and without proper oil pressure, internal engine parts may not be getting the lubrication they need. That means metal is moving against metal with far less protection than it should have. And when that happens, engine damage can happen fast. Sometimes the cause is low oil. Sometimes it is a failing oil pump. Sometimes it is a pressure sensor issue, but no matter the cause, this is not a light you keep driving with casually. If you see it, pull over safely, shut the engine off, and check the oil level once it is safe to do so. Warning number 2, engine temperature warning light. This means the engine is overheating or already too hot. And overheating is one of the fastest ways to damage an engine. At first, you may notice the temperature gauge climbing. Then maybe warm air stops coming through the heater. Then you may see steam or smell something hot. If this light comes on, turn off the AC, turn on the heater, and find a safe place to stop. Do not keep pushing the vehicle just because it still moves. A running engine is not always a safe engine, and never open a hot radiator cap. That can be dangerous. Warning number 3, check engine light. This is one of the most common warning lights and also one of the most misunderstood. Sometimes it points to something simple, a loose gas cap, a small sensor issue, an emissions-related fault. But other times it can signal engine misfires, air-fuel problems, or faults that can get expensive if ignored. The key thing is this. If the check engine light is steady, the issue may not be immediately critical, but it still needs attention. If it is flashing, that is far more urgent. A flashing check engine light can mean severe misfire or active engine damage is happening. And in that case, continuing to drive can make the repair much worse. Warning number 4, battery warning light. This light does not always mean the battery itself is bad. It often means there is a charging system problem. That could be the alternator, a loose connection, a damaged cable, or another electrical issue. If this light stays on while driving, your vehicle may be running only on battery power. And once that battery charge drops too low, the car may stall, lose electrical functions, or refuse to restart. You may also notice dim headlights, slow windows, or unusual electrical behavior. So if this light comes on, don't assume you have unlimited time. Warning number 5, brake system warning light. This is a major safety warning. It may indicate low brake fluid, a hydraulic issue, or another brake system problem. And when brakes are involved, there is no room for guessing. You may still be able to stop the vehicle, but the question is, can you stop it safely in an emergency? That is what makes this light serious. If the brake warning light is on, especially if braking feels different, spongy, or weaker than normal, you should stop driving until the issue is checked. Warning number 6, ABS warning light. ABS stands for anti-lock braking system. This system helps prevent your wheels from locking up during hard braking. If the ABS light comes on, your normal brakes may still work, but the anti-lock function may not. That means under panic braking, especially in rain or slippery conditions, you may have less control than expected. Many drivers ignore this light because the car still stops, but the danger shows up when you suddenly need full braking control. That is why this light matters. Warning number 7. Tire pressure. Warning light. This one is often underestimated. Low tire pressure may not sound dramatic, but it affects more than just comfort. It affects handling, braking, fuel economy, and tire wear. Driving on underinflated tires can make the vehicle feel unstable, increase stopping distance, and even raise the risk of tire damage. Sometimes the issue is just low air pressure. Other times, it may be a puncture or a faulty TPMS sensor. Either way, it should be checked quickly, not ignored for days. Warning number 8. Airbag warning light. If this light is on, your airbag system may not work properly in a crash, and that makes it one of the most important warning lights on the dashboard. The car may drive perfectly normally. You may notice nothing else at all, but that does not make it safe to ignore, because the whole point of the airbag system is to protect you when something goes wrong suddenly. And if the system is not ready, you may not know it until it is too late. That is why this light should always be checked. Warning number 9. Transmission temperature warning light. Heat is bad for engines, and it is bad for transmissions too. If this light appears, your transmission may be overheating. This can happen from low fluid, heavy towing, hard driving, or internal transmission problems. At first, the car may still move, but continued overheating can damage the transmission quickly. If this light comes on, pull over safely, let the vehicle cool, and do not keep pushing it just because it still shifts. Warning number 10. Power steering warning light. If this light appears, your steering may become heavy or harder to control. That matters a lot, especially in parking, tight turns, or emergency maneuvers. On some vehicles, the cause may be low steering fluid. On others, it may be an electric power steering fault. Either way, if steering suddenly feels heavier than normal, that is not something to dismiss. It directly affects control. Warning number 11. Traction control warning light. Sometimes this light comes on briefly, and that is normal. It may simply mean the system is actively helping the car maintain traction on a slippery surface. But if it stays on constantly or comes on in normal dry conditions, it may indicate a fault in the system. That matters because traction control helps keep the vehicle stable when grip is reduced. So if the light stays on, the car may no longer have that extra layer of protection when you actually need it. Warning number 12. Coolant level warning light. This is different from the engine temperature light. It often appears before full overheating happens, and that makes it important because it is an early warning. If coolant is low, your cooling system is already compromised. Maybe not enough to overheat immediately, but enough to create risk. And low coolant usually means there is a leak somewhere, or the system is losing coolant for a reason. If you ignore this warning, the next light you may see is the engine overheating light. Warning number 13. Security or immobilizer warning light. A lot of drivers treat this as a small issue until one day the car refuses to start. This light relates to the anti-theft or key recognition system. If something goes wrong, the system may block the engine from starting or create unexpected starting problems. Sometimes it is the key. Sometimes it is a sensor or module issue. But if the light behaves abnormally, especially if the car has starting trouble, it should not be ignored. Warning number 14. Fuel system warning light. This one is less common than some others, but it can point to real drivability problems. It may indicate issues with fuel delivery, pressure, or a related system fault. You may notice hard starting, rough running, loss of power, or hesitation. This kind of light should not be ignored because fuel system problems often get worse gradually, and once they do, the car may become unreliable very quickly. Now, here is something important. Not every warning light means you must shut the car off immediately, but every serious warning light means you must pay attention immediately. That is the difference. Some lights mean stop as soon as it is safe. Some mean drive carefully and diagnose soon. But none of them should be treated like meaningless dashboard decoration. So what should you do when a warning light appears? First, look at the color. Red usually means more urgent. Yellow usually means caution. Then ask yourself how the car feels. Is it overheating, losing power, making noise, smelling strange, driving differently? That combination of warning light and real-world symptoms tells you how serious the problem may be. So, let's quickly recap. Your dashboard warning lights are your car's early warning system, and some of the most important ones you should never ignore include oil pressure, engine temperature, check engine, battery, brake system, ABS, tire pressure, airbag, transmission temperature, power steering, traction control, coolant level, security system, and fuel system warnings. Some of these can leave you stranded. Some can damage the engine. Some can reduce braking or vehicle control, and some can affect your safety in a crash. That is why paying attention matters, because the earlier you respond, the better your chance of preventing a much bigger problem. And now I want to hear from you. Which warning light made you panic the most? Was it the check engine light, the oil pressure light, the battery light, or something else? Comment below with the exact light you saw first. And if enough people mention the same one, I'll make the next video breaking that warning down in detail.